for the Wine Herb Fest, which is one of your most popular.
Yeah, it's our longest
events.
running event. It's the 31st year.
Jeez.
We don't count 2020. I mean, I just count
Yeah.
that in my number, but, you know, we just kind of forget about it. But, yeah, 31 years we've been doing this event. It's our most popular event, and it's the best way to kick off spring.
Right.
So, like Jim mentioned, it's 2 weekends, April 29th and 30th and May 6th and 7th. So you can choose either weekend to attend. Or you can buy tickets to both, you know, whichever. Tickets are also good for Saturday and Sunday. So you can split the wineries up between both days or go in one day, whichever you choose.
And you kind of would want to, too, because there's so many different offerings at each winery.
Yeah,
It's tough
there's
to get
10
them all at once.
wineries, so you can do 5 and 5. Take your time, enjoy what you're tasting, remember what you're tasting. So with the tickets, you do get a wine and food pairing, like what we're sampling here. 3 additional wine tastings, a potted herb and vegetable plant at each winery, and then the recipe collection. And so each winery is assigned an herb or vegetable, and then their dish is created around that, and then that's what you also take home with you. So it's a great way to get a head start on your gardens.
Do you
'cause we
have an
can
herb
plant
garden?
soon. We started seeds inside, and we're going to go for it this year.
I'm thinking of doing that this year, too, because I use a lot of herbs. And, you know, if you go to the grocery store and buy them, it gets kind of pricey
Yep.
and something you can just grow. So I was looking into a standing, like, planter table that could go against the back of my house where there gets plenty of
Yeah.
sun. And, yeah, so if you do have an herb garden, this is a
Yeah.
perfect way
Yeah,
to
absolutely.
get going with it.
And so the things that you will receive, there's hot pepper, there's cilantro, there's dill, oregano, tomato, parsley, cauliflower, sweet pepper, basil, and cabbage. So there's a good mix of herbs and vegetables.
vegetables.
Even though we call it wine and herb, it's really hard to find like 10 herbs that everyone uses often, you know. Some you don't use too often, so we sprinkle the vegetables in there.
Well, and they're all herbs that that can be grown here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. So tickets are $95 for a single person, $45 for a DD, and $140 for a couple.
That's a good deal. The $140 for a couple is a good deal. And, you know, you think about it, I don't know last time you've been out at a restaurant, but, man, you can't get out of there for less than like $150
Yeah.
after the tip. It's the price of almost everything has gone up.
Sure
but
has.
here, first of all, you get to sample a lot of great wines and with the food
And the
pairings.
food.
And you get the herb.
And the herbs. And you get a glass to take home with you.
And it can be a 2-day ticket.
Sure.
Like
yeah.
you said, which is nice because you can really get the most value out of it. You can't visit 10 wineries in a day. You just can't.
I mean, you can. People have done it, but you just don't really get to enjoy each stop.
Yeah.
In my opinion, that is. And then I feel like 4 is the sweet number to where you kind of stop remembering what you tasted.
Right.
And 5 might be okay, but after a while, it's just repetitious, and you forget. If you have a Riesling everywhere, you forget whose is what, just because there's so much going on in your taste buds.
Well, and if you're doing the wine, and I've done it a million times, where we make too big of an agenda, where you might be at one of the first couple wineries, you just want to relax because they're all such, you know, great venue, and the weather could be good, and so I think to do the wine trail, like you said, 4 max, 3 to 4, and then if you're experienced with it, you might have your favorites where you say, okay, we're going to end here because we're going to spend 3 hours, you know, hanging out.
Yep.
So
And Nap is open for lunch too now, so you could plan that around your weekend as well. So do you want to eat?
yeah, I mean, this stuff looks great.
So we have
What do
2
we have?
wineries with us today. The first one is kind of an appetizer. It is from Montezuma Winery. They're doing a pepper jelly cream cheese crostini. It is paired with their 2016 Lemberger. So a little bit about the wine, since we're supposed to sip, eat, sip.
Sip, eat, sip.
It has aromas of blackberry, vanilla, hints of freshly cracked black pepper, and it leads into a well-structured flavors of black currant and toasted coconut. And then the food, they were assigned hot pepper. And so instead of taking the traditional route and creating a recipe that just has hot peppers in it, they chose to go a little bit simpler, and much appreciated for those who want to recreate it, because sometimes the recipes are a little complex.
Well, I love this. This is the type of thing I do at home.
So this is just a pre-made pepper jelly. A lot of people make their own during garden season because they have so many peppers. But I took the easy way and used, actually Montezuma sells it. It's a pepper jelly. So this is
Delicious.
toasted French baguette, cream cheese, the pepper jelly, and then a little bit of thyme sprinkled on top. You could use goat cheese as well, and I kind of wish I had done both just to compare,
No,
because I like both.
yeah, both are good, but
Yeah.
I think that if you're doing hot pepper jelly, that cream cheese is the way to go, just because it's a smooth and creamy contrast to the hot pepper, whereas the goat cheese kind of has its own flavor. But this is great, and there's nothing I love more than hot pepper jelly. I really do. It's just it's a great thing.
I like it too.
Goes so well.
Yeah, they pair the thyme. I really love the thyme in this. Really is the flavor of the wine really picks up that thyme. It just kind of adds that extra like zhuzh to your bite.
Montezuma is expanding.
Yeah, have you driven by?
Yeah, I couldn't believe
They
it.
have, it's like 3,500 square feet, I think. I can't remember exactly.
Like more than doubling, aren't they?
Yeah, they're adding on, and it's gorgeous.
Yeah.
Last time I was there, it was nothing, and now suddenly it's like a full structure. It L's out. And he's like, oh, did you see I'm adding on? I'm like, well, you better make it big this time, because sometimes we do
is.
small projects. He's like, oh, I am.
And I think it's such an important spot for the Cayuga Lake Trail because it's the northernmost point.
It's, in people's minds, the beginning
Right.
of the wine trail.
Right.
Yeah.
And so if you're coming off the thruway or you're coming from, Auburn or Syracuse, it is going to be the first one you see. And it's, and they do, I would think too, as the first stop, I would be really excited because first of all, they do so many different innovative things, So now, just having more of a footprint, it's just, I'm excited about it.
Yeah, they have one of the bigger menus. They have 40, 45, 50 different options between their wines and their spirits. And then, we had Phil on however long ago it was, and he's really creating new things for them. So they need that space for sure. And I can't wait to see what it looks like. It's going up fast.
So this is what they'll be serving at Montezuma?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. This exact pairing, the crostini with the Lemberger.
How do you do the crostinis?
I took French baguette, chopped it up, put olive oil, salt, pepper, toasted it, and then put the cream
In
cheese.
the oven, under the broiler?
In
or-
the oven. I just used my little toaster oven, but yeah,
Oh,
I just
gotcha.
baked it for 5 minutes at 400. It would be really good with bagel chips too, I think. You can almost just dip it.
Yeah, I do that at home a lot.
Yep. I make my own bagel chips too if I have old bagels. It's pretty versatile ingredients for this one. So the next one is more of like an entree. It's from Swedish Hill Winery. It's chicken enchilada soup paired with Blue Water's Riesling. I brought soup from Swedish Hill before, and it's always stand out. And I had this for dinner last night, and it is A+. So the wine, it is a semi-dry. It's loaded with floral, peachy, tropical aromas. It finishes nice and crisp and refreshing. Swedish Hill's herb was cilantro, which you can definitely see in the dish once it's stirred. And you can taste it. It's very prominent, but not overbearing. And I personally am a cilantro fan. I know it's hit or miss with
I like
folks.
cilantro. You know that some people, cilantro just tastes like...
Soap.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
just like... And they're just predisposed to that.
Yeah.
So it's like they're never going to like it.
No,
It's
they're
not
never,
like, oh,
ever,
come on,
ever.
you just don't get it. No, their palate just, it tastes like crap.
Yeah, they hate cilantro. I'm so glad I'm not one of those. So this recipe calls for optional cayenne pepper, which I omitted, and optional hot sauce, which I did add. And it does have a whole jalapeno pepper. So it's got a little kick to it, but not a lot, and it can definitely be intensified and subdued to your liking. And I think the crisp Riesling is really going to complement the spiciness and the cilantro. I didn't drink any last night when we were eating it for dinner, but I could tell that it was just going to go really well with each other.
Delicious.
I mean, the Riesling is amazing alone.
It's a great Riesling. And to me, we're coming on Riesling season. Like I drink Riesling in the summer and also enjoy it around Thanksgiving. And then I pretty much set it aside for the winter. So it's nice to have a little Riesling here as the weather's getting warmer.
Oh, yeah. Those two definitely go
Oh,
together.
yeah. Goes together great. The soup is great. Good
it-
job.
Yeah, it kind of kills that heat a little bit that you taste, which is a not overbearing heat, but they definitely go together well.
You can feel it.
She always does a really good job with her soups. I'm like, I have to make this because she's never steered me wrong with her soup recipes.
Mm.
So, and actually, once I can reach my list here, I have the other options that you could try while you're out. Since I can't make them all for the podcast, there's salmon and dill mousse in European cucumber cups.
Mm.
Their recipe was dill, or their herb was dill. There's lemon oregano chicken meatballs. Their assigned herb was oregano. There's lemony tomato orzo pasta salad. Tomato was theirs.
Mm-hmm.
Cauliflower crepes with chicken tikka masala.
Cauliflower crepes, huh?
Cauliflower that's Urcial. It was a chef, and I gave him a few options. I tend to give the chefs a little bit more of a complicated herb or vegetable,
Right.
since they have the knowledge to work with it. And he chose cauliflower, which I'm excited because it's different. There's roasted pepper salad with balsamic vinegar, basil focaccia pizza, and stir-fried garlicky cabbage. So there's a really nice mix of different foods that sound incredibly spring-like and incredibly refreshing. Perfect way to kind of kick off spring.